when you do become president, you're going to have to deal with hostile governments. You're going to have to deal with hostile militaries and dictators. People in other countries that don't have a value of human life, and throughout history we've had immense problems because of that, because of military conflicts. How do you think you will approach that? I mean, you will be the commander-in-chief of the greatest army the world has ever known. If you're in that position and we have to deal with some sort of a military action with China, what if China takes over Taiwan? What if they invade Taiwan? What if something happens with Syria? What if something happens with Iran? What if something happens with Russia? And you have to make decisions about military action. Have you thought about this?
Yes, I would. I have to say again, like COVID, I'm a civilian, and people can have all their perspectives that they could have of what they would do in that situation. But I would have the greatest professionals on the planet, the most skilled people that have all the experience that would present the information, and I would make the most sound, rational decisions, and I would follow God's will in my approach to dealing with these other countries, to dealing with these other leaders. There's something about, our president's personality and the leader of North Korea's personality, where there's a level of common respect, and that's the reason why they were able to talk, and we the fear had been taken off of us. Like, people who are God-fearing, self-made servants of their people, these other, scary dictators, they feel like they're that for their country. And if they see a president that they know is just taking a check or part of a bigger conglomerate, now I don't want to, like I said, I don't want to denounce any of the candidates, then it's very transactional. It's and I just said a prayer in this situation. This isn't.
You said a prayer because of what? What motivated you to say a prayer right there? The seriousness, the significance of this subject?
Yeah, absolutely. We can't jump from jokes about this to joking about people's lives.
Right.
We have to completely be still in this moment. Allow God to guide our steps and ask the right questions with the highest ranking officials possible. This isn't something that you just wing or that you just come in and say, oh, I did a bit of research. I got this political answer that's going to get a rise out of people. Like, this is people's lives. This is a whole different setting or mood than what this whole interview has been about. This is, people are suffering throughout all sides in Israel and in Nigeria and Haiti. We're suffering in the police force in Chicago, and the people who have been harmed by police and the police force. Like, this all is going to take serious time. Like, time is love. It's going to take that love and that time and moments of listening, moments of understanding, moments like when my wife goes and visits people in prison and she hears their stories, she says, I understand. I understand why you're in that situation. I would have did the same thing in this situation. And for us to go to foreign countries and really understand why that they're in these situations, or why the killing has gone for so long, or why the hate has gone so long, or why the pain just keeps on, compounding and compacting. There's an empathy that I just have as an artist, that it doesn't become a 2 + 2 = 4 situation. My dad was actually a psychology major and a Christian therapist. And this therapy, we talk about therapy, period. It's like we need healing internationally, not just selfishly for America. America's number one. Internationally, we need healing. And I would lead. I would lead with love, dignity, the responsibility to our country, the coverage of our families, of our soldiers. And in full service to God and to the American people. There's a mode that I would be in that position. Like, when I was a producer and I was a really young man, I was running around, hopping on trains or, hopping turnstiles and stuff, and like stealing from cars. And not stealing cars, but stealing clothes from stores. And then I was selling music and, going and buying leather jackets and stuff. Then, dating a whole bunch of girls, going on tour. And then I had a family, and I had to adjust a lot of my mentality and behavior to grow and be the man that I needed to be. Then God called me, and I gave my life to Christ. And God is helping me to be the Christian that I need to be. And when it's in God's will that I become the leader, I will become the leader that I need to be. So right now, as I said, I'm a civilian, but my heart, my mind, and my spirit is in a place where I know that I'm being called to captain this ship. Like when Roosevelt went in, America was in shambles. When I say those things about those numbers, when I went to Adidas, when I went to Gap, like, I'm the person that you actually call when things are not going so well. Mm. You had the mob movies is the guy that goes, cleans up everything, right, and like puts everything. I'm like the forensic, where in the same way how you saw my mind touch on 10 things at a time, and then I had to say 10 sentences at a time, if I could say them, or maybe narrow them down to 7. That's the way my mind takes, information in, and then it synthesizes it, and it comes out as a song, or it comes out as a product. Using that mentality as a leader, fearless, God-fearing, we will heal. We will show the world what America should be, the dream.
You said all this shit, all the things that you've said, in the most non-politician way I've ever heard anybody describe these things. I know you really mean these things. This is it's resonating with me that you're being 100% honest and natural. And that's what we're missing in politics today. I mean, it's one of the things that made people excited about Trump, as at least he was an alternative to the political talk. He was an alternative when you do